Whatever happened to predictability?
Nothing. Nothing ever happened to predictability. And what is so predictable, you're asking? Hollywood. The quote-unquote industry, the biz. A lot of the content they've churned out over the past decade has been anything but original, but audiences love it. Hollywood is predictable because we are predictable. And why is that? Because we're all suckers for one thing: nostalgia. On-screen nostalgia has the power to make even the most mediocre media encapsulate audiences in their memories of the past. And that's pretty crazy. So join us as we dive into the power of nostalgia. It's no secret that the entertainment industry loves capitalizing on old content for new monetary gain. And it probably hasn't escaped your notice that in recent years, it has seemed like more continuations of old franchises have been made as opposed to new original movies and shows. From a critical standpoint, these movies and shows can be hit or miss. But audience reactions tell a different story, and that's in part due to their opinions being skewed by the nostalgia of the products. Oh, and what is nostalgia? Well, Professor David Gerber from the University of Buffalo defines it as a flood of feelings that diverts us temporarily from the present and immerses us in the past. Basically, where there's nostalgia, there's audience bias. While there are several franchises we could look into to break down how Hollywood uses nostalgia as a tool, we are going to be analyzing the respected reboots and continuations of The Karate Kid, Full House, and Star Wars. To be clear, we're not saying that nostalgia is the only factor that made these products a success, but we would like to highlight the ways that nostalgia was definitely used as a tool to help with that success. We will be examining this in 3 different ways: with sound, visual style, and the lens of ideology. Let's start with sound. Sound in film and television is perhaps one of the most unique tools used in storytelling. It's non-visual and often genre-specific, and it sets up your expectations for what you're getting into. For example, hearing this likely makes you expect something very different from when you hear this. And in the case of continuations or reboots, sound can be an effective tool to create a sense of nostalgia. When the audience hears a familiar tune from their favorite movie or television show, they are reminded of the memories and good times they have attached to watching that media. In the 7th installation of the Skywalker saga, The Force Awakens, one of the most obvious sound motifs is the Rebel fanfare. How does hearing that make you feel? Like something awesome is going to happen? That's because that motif is associated with events from the previous Star Wars films when other awesome things have happened. It's meant to make you feel excited and reminiscent. Full House's continuation, Fuller House, uses a similar sound motif in the form of laugh tracks.
Oh, you don't know your own dad?
Don't cry, it's only a joke.
While you might consider laugh tracks more of an inevitability for Full House rather than a motif, can you imagine what the tone of the show would be like without them? Their inclusion is a choice. They could have easily been left out to create a more modern feel, but instead we hear this.
Hi, Tommy. There's a car in the kitchen.
And we are taken back a dozen years or so. Sound is the sneakiest way nostalgia creeps up on and hooks you, because sound is invisible. It's taken for granted to the untrained ear, but the emotions music or sound motifs alone can stir in an audience is powerful, especially from a nostalgic standpoint. So what can the addition of visuals do? Well, visuals are undeniably powerful tools in a director's belt, capable of spanning across time to act as callbacks to earlier content. This is particularly true in the case of reboots or continuations of media, because viewers are already hoping to see something familiar. They want a standout callback or a direct reference so they can feel that rush of excitement and recognition. In 2015, all it took was the familiar faces of Han Solo and Chewbacca appearing in the Force Awakens trailer for fans to feel that excitement. Like, a lot of excitement. While Star Wars has been around for generations now, and diehard fans will love the newest movies in the franchise without any strategic visual callbacks, there definitely are some that intentionally sweeten the pot. There are parallels like these, where Kylo Ren meets his father atop a bridge,
Han Solo, I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
just like Luke did with Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back, and then there are visual callbacks that are more obviously nostalgic and meant to draw on the audience's emotions, such as when Rey finds the Skywalker lightsaber for the first time. When the trailer for Cobra Kai was released, it employed a similar strategy as The Force Awakens and started off with a clip of the most iconic moment of the franchise, when Daniel does a crane kick to beat Johnny at the All Valley Karate Tournament. And honestly, this fan reaction encompasses the effects nostalgia played on people watching this again better than we can put into words.
Okay?
All right,
yeah.
Damn, I missed the good old days.
Yep, gotta whoop his ass.
Damn! Oh, I need to watch this movie again.
Throughout the series, the show continues to use visual parallels that they know will resonate with audiences. Like when Johnny beats up a group of teens to defend his student, not unlike Mr. Miyagi did for Daniel. Plus, the repetitive showing of the Cobra Kai symbol acts similarly to the showing of Luke's lightsaber, reminding the audience of one of the most memorable motifs from the original media. By first interpolating the viewer with memorable visuals, and then further ensnaring them with constant reminders of their good memories of the past, these visuals hold immense power over the audience, essentially placing rose-colored glasses over their eyes and preventing them from seeing through a more critical lens. Not that they really want to, because it's fun to recognize these things. And that brings us to how nostalgia and ideology work together to help Hollywood do what they do. It breaks down to this. Audiences are able to be interpolated by nostalgic content because, subconsciously, they want to be. And production studios know this. According to ideological theory as defined by Ron Becker, we think in ways that align with the society we construct and construct a society that aligns with the ways we think. Thus, ideologies become true, in a certain sense of the word at least. In other words, we seek to reaffirm our own beliefs, and that can extend to reaffirming our memories as well. All it takes is a small push for audiences to watch a reboot or continuation and become blinded to its flaws. Case in point, by the end of The Force Awakens, fans didn't leave the theater questioning why the malicious First Order was in power or where the heck they came from.
Systems will bow to the First Order, and will remember this as the last day of the Republic!
But they definitely did leave thinking about the super cool scene where Rey and Finn pilot the Millennium Falcon because A, that scene features the Millennium Falcon, and B, it has fun moments like Finn having trouble using the gun because it's so quote-unquote old.
Whoa!
And Fuller House is able to get away with a cringe-inducing moment like this.
Where's my little sis?
Well, Michelle sends her love, but she's busy in New York running her fashion empire.
Because they have moments like this where they bring back Stephanie Tanner's iconic catchphrase.
How rude. How very rude.
Even Cobra Kai is cheesy at times.
Fast forward through all that.
Yeah, fast forward.
But what viewer can't look past that and enjoy watching Daniel LaRusso train the next Karate Kid, right? So while we shouldn't expect Hollywood to stop using sound, visuals, or ideology to interpolate us into loving remakes, reboots, and continuations anytime soon, it's probably not going to stop us from loving what they make either. The price of happiness, it seems, comes at an actual cost, and we are all more than willing to pay it. And that is the power of nostalgia.
need you to get your ass over to Cobra Kai.